Alright, here we go. This is an unranked 1v1 on Crater between the Carbon player on the left, ZULFUR in the Tomcat Striker, and his opponent, Thekhumi, the blue player on the right side in the Camo Paladin. So it will be Striker versus Paladin. They are kind of a little bit sad that they have to play on Crater. I personally like Crater. Even in a 1v1, it's not bad. I think there are probably a little bit too many lanes for 1v1. It is a big map to scout, and if a person just completely dedicates all his credits to a secret push and you just so happen to not go scout first, you might kind of be screwed already. But Kumi going immediately for a defensive play, bunkering Morty's at his outpost. He does not want to be cheesed, scouting the top side, bunkering down the bottom side. So it's a nice little play there. And dropping to do a little bit of harass, but there is a Seeker here, and he is just trying to kill creeps to prevent the ZULFUR from taking that center close outpost immediately. But ZULFUR able to finish up Kumi on the ground. Does look like ZULFUR is about to type something to Kumi at that ground speed. Oh man, what did he go? He's going Frank Paladin. Oh man, it must be super, super slow. But yeah, it's something that you want to consider. It's the normal kind of Paladin opening nowadays is to just be very, very harass heavy right at the open game, because there's not that many units out on the field, so there's not many that are out to kill you. Paladins are super, super tanky, so you can just kind of drop and shoot and survive forever, and that's something you kind of have to consider, especially. Okay, and Kumi with his super, super slow ground speed, ZULFUR was able to get one Seeker out, which was definitely enough, because Kumi, in his flight back and forth, especially on Crater, took a lot of damage. So it does look like both players are going straight for mid. Kumi not bunkering anything at the top. It does have stuff bunkered at the bottom. I guess he just was really, really worried about that cheese. But seeing this opening from ZULFUR, he doesn't really have to worry about a secret push on the side quite yet at all. Does luckily he already has a jammer up on the field and 2 Archies, so he is kind of way ahead of ZULFUR in terms of the normal mid fight. ZULFUR does not have any jamming units out on the field. He does have some Archies down, and it does look like he has some bombs in queue. Okay, now coming out with a jammer, but Kumi is way ahead. Great unit composition, nice mix of defensive tanks, artillery pointing in, a jammer, and some ratchets, some healing units. So, and Seeker. So, I mean, this is kind of basic AirMech 101 play here. This is just mix up your units and, make sure you have the proper balance so you can actually accomplish what needs to be accomplished. Kumi with all these Gemini in front. ZULFUR was not able to take that outpost for very long at all. So now just spamming more and more artillery. It does look like Kumi is going more with tanks. So Kumi might be able to actually, it's very unlikely he'll be able to push. He might be able to use his Paladin to distract that tank fire. But, to push in, he only has 6 tanks as opposed to ZULFUR's about 4. Oh, actually, yeah, 4. You can see it on the unit counter. Never got used to that because they were bugged for like a year and a half when I started casting. But, ZULFUR does bomb down that jammer. So now all of his artillery will be pointing in. Kumi has not noticed it quite yet. He is going to just do a little bit of harass back here, using his tanks as a little bit of cover. ZULFUR actually almost getting finished off. Whoa, no, Kumi not able to actually get him finished off in that transform and retreat. But it does look like ZULFUR will be winning this mid-fight after killing that jammer. Oh, man. Kumi's units are all just getting demolished. He really does need to pull back because those artillery are definitely still, even there, the artillery are still within the range, and ZULFUR can now start to move his units up. There are so little tanks left now that he can probably just do even like a mass T or just a quick ferrying over that mid. And it does look like Kumi has to pull all the way back to his center close and start to rebuild his units, and already making a defensive line here, putting a jammer down and putting a little bit of defensive artillery up. And ZULFUR scouting now, seeing whatever he can push or, harass at this point, but now just going to start to move his units up. He has to be a little bit careful here. Maybe should probably move his jammer up with it first. Kumi not able to actually snipe any units there. That Seeker getting put down pretty quickly. And yeah, ZULFUR just doing a pretty good job, defending here. And now the Kumi and ZULFUR are just kind of fighting it out. Kumi, with a pretty long distance here to go. ZULFUR is not really, and he's way, way ahead. It's 47 to 22, and Kumi is just way behind. All going all the way back to his fort to heal up. And now Zulfur is going to make it. Wow, I mean, he's not even firing at anything, but he's just safely moving up is what he's doing with his artillery, just leapfrogging and, you know, tanks and seekers in the front. Kumi does not even have a defensive line here. It's all the way back here. So I'm not really sure what he's planning to do. Okay, now going to probably go. Okay, yeah, it does look like he's going to go for a top push. Has not cleared the light mines, but it's not really a big deal unless you're going to go with Jackals or Jokers or Zippers or something like that. It does look like he will be able to. I mean, Zulfur isn't even really threatening him over here, so it's not that big of a deal. Gotta love this new draw distance though. It's super awesome. Yeah, now Kumi. I mean, Zulfur could easily move up, and he is okay. Did do a quick scout at the top over there. And yeah, now Kumi. I mean, okay. They're both kind of just sitting because it's dangerous. Even though Zulfur has like a 2-to-1 unit advantage right now, it's a little bit dangerous for Zulfur to move up just because Defender's advantage is so strong, and Crater doesn't really have the path to use over here. Because let's say Zulfur wanted to push up, he'd have to go all the way over here, and it would go either all the way around here or all the way down around here, and that's just really dangerous. It's such a long way for his units to go, and the entire time Kumi could have his artillery pointed in defensively, and you know Zulfur's tanks would have to pass by Kumi's defensive tanks, and now Zulfur defending the bottom, not defending the right side. Zulfur defending the bottom. Kumi is easily going to be able to take this top, I'm pretty sure, even if Zulfur scouts it, which he has not quite yet. And he should be a little bit suspicious of the lack of the units on the field right now. Now he is going to start to scout. He doesn't see any more units at the top. He's just going to continue and see, yes, there are units up there. And now we'll start to bring out units, but he is already at his upkeep cap, 69 out of 70. Whereas Kumi has plenty of upkeep to go. Zulfur probably should have made his move a little bit earlier, forced to bring units back from mid to defend at his top outpost. Where is Kumi? He is not supporting his tanks. He should probably set these to T so they can actually get a stop this around. Zulfur now forced to move his tanks out. He'll probably be okay here. Not using his striker sword. Oh, is he even? He doesn't even have it upgraded. Kumi is here now to start to defend against, or not, you know, to start to draw the fire away from those carbon tanks. But it's probably a little bit too late. He probably won't really get that much of an advantage over here, especially because his units weren't switched to T or hold position. Now they will just start to wander away and go for Zulfur's sword. He might be able to switch to T and go for this bottom outpost here, the center close. But it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that. Because he's kind of forced to stay down on the ground and defend against anything that Zulfur drops, and now gonna have to defend here against Zulfur's fort attack or fort defense. And does look like Zulfur will easily be able to hold here. Kumi is very, very low on health. Zulfur will easily be able to drop and get the finish. No, Kumi dancing really, really well actually. Oh, but Zulfur now does finally get that finish, and Kumi gets nowhere with that top push, which is a little bit crazy. And yeah, now Zulfur is going to easily be able to defend against this now. A 71 out of 70, and now just pumping out generators, which is pretty much standard protocol at this point. And Kumi's 30. It's 38 out of 59 for Kumi, so it's 71 to 38. It's really, really dire for Kumi at this point. Zulfur can actually just do a counter push. He doesn't really have to worry too much about it because Kumi pretty much used all of his units up there at the top. So even without a scout, you can kind of already assume. And Zulfur said, "Oh, I'm not exactly sure what he's sad about." But now Kumi making a defensive line down here. I'm not really sure why he's not making it at the top. I guess they go down here because this is closer. This ramp is closer than this ramp. Should Zulfur decide to actually push, but now Kumi is moving out. That's probably another reason why he. Oh, and he did a mass hold. That's very interesting. I'm guessing he's just. I don't really know what he's doing. Usually you do a mass wide hold. Oh, I guess maybe he scouted here, but you know, pushing out, and then he now has to move back in defensive position using those heavy mines, but not putting them in the direct line of the tank's path. So yes, knowing the exact pathing for the tanks, or for unit pushes in maps is very, very, very valuable. Now Zulfur, his 5 Longhorn are making his way up the top. Kumi definitely does not see it right now, and actually, okay, dangerously low on health, but does get back to that center close before he gets finished off by those Seekers. And now Kumi is pushing out. Oh man, how is this going to actually play out? It does look like Zulfur will easily be able to push. Oh, I mean, there's so many defensive heavy mines that Zulfur really does need to be careful here. It does look like Kumi's going to be able to successfully defend because he has so many heavy mines out. All of Zulfur's units are pretty much spread out, and all of Kumi's units are now going for Zulfur's fort. However, Zulfur's units have made their way past Kumi's top outpost and neutralized it, so Zulfur could actually take that. What is he actually choosing to do? And there's so many heavy mines out on the field for Kumi. Kumi is way past his unit cap though, especially because he did lose that top outpost. So how will he be able to defend against this? I don't know if he will be able to, and honestly, honestly, but it's going to be really, really close because Kumi's units are definitely going to be able to hit ZULFUR's fort, and at this point, ZULFUR is just chipping away really, really slowly at Kumi's defenses, or not even defenses, at his fort health, and now just getting surrounded, but all of his units are just completely spread out along the push path because he was forced to mass hold them, and might want to just do, you know, a drop, pick up micro to keep his units, you know, to set off those heavy mines. But he's not quite doing that right now. ZULFUR trying to finish off Kumi there, but actually doesn't even see him. So I'm not really sure what he's firing at. But now does decide to drop and fire. Kumi's still trying to defend. He doesn't even have half of his life taken out quite yet. And his units are already here at ZULFUR's fort. So what is ZULFUR going to do? Is he going to decide to go for a defense or decide to go for the finish? It doesn't look like Kumi's really going to be able to defend against what ZULFUR has here or support his units. He is dead right now. Just want to point that out. Queuing up generators because he really, really needs defense. Man, it's getting really, really close. Kumi's units pelting away at this at ZULFUR's fort. Man, it's getting so close. ZULFUR is now trying to just get this finish on Kumi. Oh, Kumi using generators for blocking, and oh, that is it. ZULFUR actually going down because it does say defeat. I didn't even catch that, to be quite honest. And yeah, ZULFUR, man, getting that finish on Kumi, or getting finished off by those Gemini that Kumi sent to ZULFUR's fort. Oh man, and Kumi dropping the OMG. Dude, I didn't even see the end of that game, to be quite honest. I was too focused on seeing if Kumi was going to be able to get the blocking off. But yeah, Kumi's units just draining ZULFUR's fort health incredibly fast just because there was absolutely nothing defending for the most part. And every single Gemini that reached that fort was on Y, focused and concentrated on doing fort damage. So ridiculous ending right there. ZULFUR not able to use all of his tanks to his advantage because of all those heavy mines that Kumi put down. And in some ways, those heavy mines worked really well for Kumi, but also it prevented Kumi from queuing up more defenses, especially after losing that top outpost. But Kumi resorting to making generators for blocking didn't really work out that well, didn't really get to implement them. But luckily for him, he sent his push out early enough that he was able to get the finish, and that is one thing that you typically don't see, especially in high-tier games. A lot of the time, you know, you see them kind of hesitate. Frequently, especially in a lot of recent games that I've cast, there have been high-tier players that didn't really send out early enough, you know what I mean? And you know, should they have done that, they might have been able to get the finish. You know, sometimes it's kind of up in the air. Sometimes it's kind of ambiguous whether or not it would work. But you know, you need to at least try instead of just sit there, let your units, you know, do nothing, and then send out when you kind of realize, oh, I'm probably gonna die, I might as well try something now. Well, you know, that kind of risk should be kind of considered really earlier than a lot of players tend to do that. But either way, great job by ZULFUR and Kumi that game. ZULFUR winning that mid fight, pushing up not as aggressively as I'd like to see, but you know, playing it very safe, very solidly, I might say. And Kumi not able to really do anything about that, and just sent out all of his units, which is pretty crazy. So guys, if you play any games that are this crazy base racy, or watch them, or anything like that, make sure to send them in to me. You know, all the other casters on our mailing list can get the replays also. And yeah, if you are interested in casting AirMech, you gotta let me know. I can try to get you on that replay pool. I can try to give you any help with software or you know, spreading the word as I possibly can. You know, I do my best to promote the AirMech community. If you are someone that wants to promote anything in the AirMech community, I'm definitely willing to help. You know, just like I had that short ad about Tamil's co-op tournament, you know, I can do similar things or the same exact thing. If you have an event, if you have a website, if you have a stream, if you have anything, just let me know. If you have a YouTube channel, I will definitely include you if you are actively posting videos in my, you know, featured list on my channel. All right, guys, this is RUI, and that is game. See you next time.